So you see what I do when I drive on the truck. But when you own your own company like we do, and you run it under your own authority, that's not the only thing that you do. You actually wear many hats. So when I get home, I don't just get to do whatever I want to do. I still have paperwork and stuff to do in order to get paid and to keep everything running smoothly. Now my wife, she runs the office. She helps keep us in compliance and stuff with DOT, which I could probably show you the book a little bit later. It's like that thick of all the regulations we have to do. But for this introduction for this coming up week, it's actually the weekend. I just uploaded the video from this last week, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about what I have to do and what Mother has to do when we get home and we still have paperwork and stuff to do. That's the difference. When you're just a driver and you're driving for a company, you know, you turn in your paperwork, you go home, you drink beer, and everything's good. You get your paycheck and you don't worry about it. But when you actually own your own company and you actually have to deal with these people as far as getting paid and all that other stuff, it's really important to know the other side of things, how the paperwork and stuff goes. So I've made a few spreadsheets that I'm going to show you as I enter in some of this paperwork. Now, let's see. These are bill of ladings. This is what you will be given generally from your shipper to get signatures and so on and so forth to prove that you delivered. And then what you will do as a driver is you'll turn this stuff into your company for, you know, with your logbooks and all your paperwork and your DOT inspections and so on and so forth, and you go on home. And then what your employer or whatever will do is he will match up your invoices with rate confirmation sheets. And what these rate confirmation sheets are is basically what they will pay for the driver or for you if you own your own company for actually delivering this stuff. And we'll get into that here in just a minute. But so for this first segment, what we're going to do is we're going to take our invoices, our bill of ladings that we have proof of receipt signatures on, match them up to the rate confirmations, and then we're going to generate an invoice. And then after that, we're going to go let Mother sign the invoices after she checks them out and fax them into the company that we deal with in this particular one, or mail it. You know, sometimes we have to mail it. It all depends on who we're dealing with. And then we're going to go ahead and update our profit and loss statement. I keep track of that continuously. It's really important for you to know if you're making money or losing money and how much, in what direction, as well as some bill tracking and so on and so forth. And we'll get into that here in just a second. I just wanted to show you a little bit of all this. So let's go look at this. I go ahead and do that right like that. So, what is today? 5/25. 5/25. Oh shit. What did I do wrong? Go up here. I try to make stuff up that's going to work for us, and this works for us well. So if you're doing your own thing, then you need to be a little creative at times. Yeah, I need to look on here. Okay, this is the first one right here. So this first one, this company here wants the pro number, so we're going to type in that pro number right there. 7875234. And they also want the bill of lading, which this bill of lading right here is 271 5403 5403. And the total amount, this is for the haul that I took down to Austin with 2 stops and then to Edinburgh, and they're paying us $1,032. Okay. Oh well. So as you see, it has that all down in there. And what I do is I program this thing here, and I would appreciate it if y'all don't start asking me how to do that, because it's kind of complicated. If you're seriously interested in it, I may go ahead and help you out, but I hit print. I go up here to tools, macros, save with new file name. Now watch this invoice number right there. That automatically updates to 19. Okay. And basically what it did is it put the 18 automatically in that folder, so I don't have to worry about it, so I can keep track of each and every one of these little things. So the next pro number is going to be 7878436. This bill of lading number is going to be China P100, and the amount that we are going to be paid on this one is $567. So 567, everything's good. Again, I go up here, I hit print. That's going to send it to Mother in the office. And tools, macros, new name, run. And now it automatically goes up there to load 20 that we've hauled for these guys. Now, what Mother will do is she'll take the invoice and she'll verify the dollar amount and everything, and then she'll sign it, and then she will take all this paperwork and fax it, in this particular case, to Invoicing, so we can get paid within 30 days. Next thing I'm going to do is profit and loss. Here's our, this isn't profit and loss, this right here is the DOT inspection. Anytime you have your own company, you need to make sure that you keep all of your paperwork. This is one of the paperwork you have to keep, so that way when they come and audit you, you've got it. So I'll give this to Mother as well, and she'll file it away along with all the other paperwork. So this is something that I don't share with people. You guys are lucky. This is my profit and loss statement. I created this from scratch. If you want a blank copy of it, I may be so persuaded to give it to you, but it will not be for free, because I put a lot of time and a lot of effort to figure this out, how to program it the way I wanted it. And as you can see, we lose money every month. Of course, we're still within our first year. Except for this month right now, we're actually breaking a little positive. But of course, when I go ahead and I enter in everything I've spent so far, it's going to drop that down. But the name of the game is making these numbers smaller, closer to the black, and then eventually getting positive over to the black. You can see I have fuel costs, operational costs, home costs, which right now, everything that we make is going right back in the business. Eventually, once we start making money, that's going to be basically my pay. That's going to be basically what we have to build the company, to buy new equipment or a new truck or whatever, and that of course will be our savings. So, you know, you always need to plan for the future. But as of this moment, every penny we have is going right back into the company, so I'm going to zero all those out just like I've done up there. Anyway, let's see. Under operational costs, 523. These are the tools that I bought the other day to fix the issue with the air conditioner, so that way I didn't get a chargeback or a claim on my insurance. And it only cost me $32.46, and I actually have tools for the truck now. All of this is tax deductible, by the way. And let's see here. 523. Food, which anything that I buy when I'm out there on the road is also tax deductible, for your information. That was for my second chocolate milk. and this, or first one actually, and this is 5.24 again into the food, and this is for $1.99. So, and then we have, what is this? Then we have fuel that I cannot read. Oh, there it is. I think. Got a fucked up copy of it. Okay. This is on 523. And the fuel was 370, 79 a gallon. And we put in 80.384 gallons for $300. So as you can see, it's dropped my current amount, but we're still making a little bit of money. I think I've got to put $400 in the tank, but I'll show you something else here in just a moment. Actually, I could start it right here. So that takes care of the bills. And now from the other invoices that I just put in the system, I do this. This is how I track to make sure that we're getting paid when we're supposed to get paid, and anything that we haven't been paid for over a period of time, then I go back and either Mother will call them or I'll tell her to call them, find out where our pay is on that. So 525, and this one was for 1,032. Okay, and of course we haven't been paid for it yet, so that's going to stay blank. And this is using 19, and we're billing on date 525, and the amount we're billing is 567. So between 5 runs, we're owed almost $4,000. That's good. And then this money, as it comes in, I'll check it off, and we keep adding on to it, and keeps running pretty good. So that's how I track that. And we also did our deal. IDFR. This is the form that I created for our portion plates. You're supposed to keep track of every mile that you put on the truck. Damn it. And have it available. Mother keeps track of the monthly and tries and the yearly and all that other stuff, but this is what I do for each trip that I do. I put it on this kind of a format right here. 524, and okay, we stopped in Carrollton, Edinburgh. If I just stay in the state of Texas, I don't really worry about putting the state on there. Houston, and went back to Carrollton. I already did the other one that I did earlier this week to New Orleans. Texas, this is the state, and we take 287, 20, 408, then we went down 35 to 281. This is a pain in the ass, folks, but this is a requirement that we have to do in order to stay in business, so we're going to do what they ask. And we also travel on 45. And our ending odometer is 4585. And this is a little thing that I do. I go up here to the function button, and I say take this minus that, and that is not necessarily correct. So I go back here to trip 62, and I determined our actual mileage was 193,378. So I can come up here and go 193378. That was our starting mileage. So this trip here we did 1,207 miles. So I go to Texas, 1,207 miles. Since we're apportioned for 5 states, that's why I did that. You'll see those two numbers equal up. So everything is good. Print that out for Mother. Again, I go here to Tools. And this one right here, save with new name and run. And you'll see this one I've got programmed to increase the trip number and to clear everything else out again. And then I put our starting mileage of 194,585. Okay, and I hit save, so that way next time I open it up for the next one, it will. So you can see here a small sample of what we have to do after we get back off the truck. Delivering the load for us is only part of what we do after we get back. Of course, we've got to go generate the invoices with the bill of ladings and the rate confirmations. Mother has to go over all that stuff and fax it into the company in that particular case so that we can get paid within 30 days. In the meantime, it's important for you to keep track of your profit and loss, how you're doing. If you don't know where your company is, how in the hell can you know where it's going? And that again, I think, is another reason why a lot of people fail in this business. In the trucking industry, a lot of new companies come up real quick, but unfortunately they don't even last 6 months. They're generally close the doors because maybe they think they can make money hand over fist just by buying, you know, $75,000 of equipment, throwing it out there on the road, and the calls will just automatically come to them. They don't understand the scope of what they're really getting into. And the key to success in this business is cost control, especially when you're a new company like Mother and I are. We have to do everything we can to control costs. That's everything from buying the cheapest fuel we can find to me not eating on the truck as far as anything out of the truck. Sometimes I'll bring a couple of sandwiches with me or some can of ravioli or whatever, you know, and I'll go buy a thing of chocolate milk or what have you, and I'll pop that ravioli and I'll have dinner right there outside my truck. It's all about cost control. That's the way that we have been able to stay in business so far, and as I demonstrated on our P&L, we're actually starting to show a profit. So it's real important that you plan for things, and so that P&L kind of helps us out. So that way when the transmission goes out and I have to spend $3,300 to repair the transmission, you know, I know where we're at, and yeah, we go farther in debt, but we can still build ourselves back out of it. As well as it's important for you to know what you got coming in through the bill tracking that I've developed. So that way everything that we bill out, I put in that tracking, and I know, well, okay, at this part of the month, you know, we have $4,000 that is due us still, so we're okay. It kind of gives me a gauge as far as how we're doing and what we can spend to continue to move forward. It's a long, drawn-out process. Again, I wear many, many hats. Working with the Department of Transportation and being regulated by the federal government, whoa, it's kind of scary. You know, federal red tape, bureaucracy, all that other bullshit. But I think it's worth it. You know, Mother and I, Mother stays at the house, she runs the office. I don't have an employer. I employ myself. I don't have to deal with anybody's bullshit if I don't want to. I don't have to take any loads that I don't want. All I got to do is make sure that we're running and that we got money coming in and everything's balancing out and moving forward. And so I would strongly recommend this for people who have the aptitude to maintain a consistent focus on direction of their company, where they're going, how much money they're spending, how much money they got coming in. You know, it's not just a 9-to-5 job. You just can't go out there and drive something and drop it off, turn in your paperwork. Actually owning your own company means you're going to be basically married to it for a lot longer. You know, and that's okay, because as I said, you know, all our bills are paid. We're up to date on everything, and everything's moving good. And as a matter of fact, we're starting to begin to get into the black, and as we get more and more into the black, and we get more and more saved up, we'll be able to start bringing on more trucks, more drivers, that kind of thing, and actually growing the company. You know, the whole point of me doing this was to have and run my own company. and so it takes a lot of work. And so if you're afraid of work or you don't want to work, this business is not for you. If you don't pay attention to detail and you don't care about safety and you don't care about whether the customer's load gets from point A to point B intact and safe, this business is not for you. You know, if you go out there as a driver and you burn too many companies, I guarantee you won't be driving very long, because as an owner, I talk to other owners and they talk to me, so we get an idea of, you know, what kind of people are out there and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, I just talked to a gentleman that I worked with before. He's also an owner-operator, has his own company, has about 8 or 9 drivers, and he's having an issue right now with a couple of his drivers not being too smart upstairs, you know, not wanting to turn in their paperwork, not wanting to fill out their logbooks properly, not wanting to comply with the rules and regulations in order to keep money coming in their pocket, which really frustrates me, because to me, in this day and age and the economy the way it is, people should be doing everything they could do, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, to maintain an income. And, you know, if you just don't care and you just don't have that kind of attitude where you want to go above and beyond to take care of the customer, to take care of your employer, to turn in your paperwork, you're not going to be employed very damn long. And to me, that's a bad thing, because if you lose your job, who's going to hire you? It's getting tough out there. So that's why Mother and I decided to do our own thing, and we're making it. And if you have the aptitude and the willingness to sacrifice and push some more and do whatever it takes to get going and keep going, I suggest you do it, because it's awesome. Being your own boss is great. I really like it. I think that's about all on this first segment. I was thinking about possibly getting into a little bit of cost control measures that I've learned throughout our journey here for the last couple of years, actually, and may get into a little bit of that. If you have any questions or you want to see anything in particular on the channel, I've been thinking about doing something on logbooks, because I know some people perhaps have questions on those as well. I know 2 years ago I had questions on those, and so what I did is of course I go to YouTube and I start looking at other people's information on logbooks and so on and so forth. And of course, the only ones that I could find was for big rigs, and we're a little bit different in that we don't work as many days in a row as big rigs, so our stuff is a little more easier, but it's still a little complicated too, because if you don't put all the information on there, DOT will definitely get you, and so will the feds when they come in and audit you. But so that's something that I need to think about for an up-and-coming video. But if you do have anything in particular that you want to see, or if you have any questions, or you just want to say hey, please go ahead and put it in the YouTube channel. We have a Facebook page, L&D Trucking. Like us on Facebook. Communicate with us on there as well. Ask questions. Look at videos. Look at our pictures. Maybe whatever. I tend to ramble a lot. Sorry. Even when I'm home, I'm talking to a damn camera. What's up with that? Anyway, this is Wayne with L&D Trucking, and again, we appreciate you watching the videos and commenting, and we just want to get this information out there, because a lot of people don't know what it takes to make a company work, much less a company such as this, when you have so many regulatory agencies you've got to deal with.